Assalamu alaikum. We are Team Power Seekers, a group of 7 members. From an international business perspective, we will explore and discuss diverse global topics, highlighting its opportunities, challenges, and also strategic insights. I am Kamrun Naharkoli, and my topic is China's debt diplomacy and the Belt and Road Initiative. Now I am briefly explain about what the Belt and Road Initiative is. The Belt and Road Initiative or BRI was launched by China in 2013. Its main aim is to improve global connectivity through larger scale infrastructure development. Under this initiative, China invests in projects such as roads, railway, ports, energy facilities, and digital infrastructure across Asia and Europe. More than 150 countries are involved in BRI, making it one of the largest international economic initiatives in modern history. From an international business perspective, BRI helps to reduce transportation costs, improves trade routes, and creates new opportunities for foreign direct investment and market expansion. Now, moving to the second slide, which focuses on debt trap diplomacy. Debt trap diplomacy refers to a situation where a country takes larger loans, often for infrastructure projects, but later struggles to repay them. This usually happens when project returns are low or when financial planning is weak. As a result, the borrowing country may become economically dependent or may have to give control of strategic assets. A commonly cited example is Sri Lanka's Hambantota port. From an international business point of view, this creates serious risks such as sovereign debt problems, political instability, and uncertainty for foreign investors. In this final slide, I am summarizing both the opportunities and the risk of BRI. On the opportunity side, BRI supports infrastructural development, improves trade connectivity, and encourages international business growth. On the risk side, poor debt management and lack of transparency can lead to long-term economic pressure and dependency. If I talk about Bangladesh, Bangladesh joined China's Belt and Road Initiative in 2016 to support its development goals and trade expansion. Key projects include the Podda Bridge, rail link, the Paira power plant, and the Kornofuli tunnel, along with major improvements in ports and road infrastructure. Bangladesh has avoided transferring strategic assets to China. Bangladesh shows that with selective project approval, diversified financing, and strong debt management, BRI loans can be used as a development tool rather than becoming a debt trap. To conclude, we can say that the Belt and Road Initiative and the debt trap diplomacy can be highly beneficial for international business if projects are carefully planned and financially sustainable. However, without proper governance, it may increase economic risk rather than promote development. Thank you. This is my part.
Assalamu alaikum, sir. My name is MD Nuzrul Islam. My ID is 25. Today, I would like to present my topic, the Asian financial crisis of 1997 and its impact on emerging markets. The Asian financial crisis began in 1997 in Thailand when the Thai government failed to protect its fixed exchange rate and the Thai baht collapsed. What started as a national problem quickly turned into a regional crisis, spreading to countries like Indonesia, South Korea, Malaysia, and the Philippines. This showed how closely connected emerging economies were to global financial markets. The main cause of this crisis were quite clear. First, many countries depended heavily on foreign borrowing, especially loans taken in US dollars. While local currencies lost value, repaying these loans became extremely difficult. Second, governments maintained fixed exchange rates without enough reserves, making their currencies vulnerable to speculation. Third, weak banking regulation allowed risky lending and poor financial decisions. As investor confidence collapsed, capital rapidly flowed out of the region, worsening the situation. The impact on emerging markets and international business was severe. Currencies crashed, stock markets collapsed, and many banks and companies were bankrupt. Foreign direct investment declined sharply, and multinational companies faced serious currency and credit risk. Several countries had to accept IMF bailout, which brought strict economic reforms and policy changes. Beyond finance, this crisis also hit the tourism and hospitality sector. Due to income loss and uncertainty, international travel declined, hotels faced low occupancy, and many workers lost jobs. However, cheaper local currencies later helped attract budget tourists, slowly supporting recovery and increase domestic tourism. rebuilding destination image and investor confidence through peers. In conclusion, the Asian financial crisis taught important lessons for international business. It highlighted the need for a strong risk management, better financial regulation, flexible exchange rates, and transparent governance. These lessons continue to shape how business and investors approach emerging markets today. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Assalamualaikum sir. Myself MD Ibrahim Ashek. My ID is 15. Now I will present on currency devaluation and international trade competitiveness. Currency devaluation means a reduction in the value of a country's domestic currency related to foreign currency. It directly influences international trade. The mechanism. When a currency is devalued, export becomes cheaper, which increase foreign demand. At the same time, import become more expensive, reducing import use but increasing input cost. Now, the causes. Major causes include trade deficits, inflation, differential, external economic shocks, and declining foreign exchange reserve. Moving to the impact on international trade. Devaluation improve export competitiveness. If exports are price elastic, the trade balance may improve, while import consumption generally fall. The risk currency devaluation can cause inflation, higher production cost, exchange rate volatility, creating uncertainty for business. Finally, implication for international businesses. A weaker currency can attract foreign direct investment, support export-oriented industries, and encourage firms to adjust supply chain to remain competitive in global market. Currency devaluation can strain international trade competitiveness, but effective policy management is essential to reduce risk and ensure stability. Thank you, sir.
Hello everyone. Welcome to my presentation. My ID is 16 and today I will talk about Tulip Mania 1637 as a template for modern speculative bubbles. Here I will cover the background of Tulip Mania and lessons for modern markets with some examples. Let's start with the background. Tulip Mania occurred in the Netherlands during the early 17th century. And then rare tulip bulbs become highly fashionable and symbols of wealth. People bought and sold tulip for high profit. After that, price rose very fast and then crashed in 1637. Let's move to the next slide, which is lesson from Tulip Mania for modern markets. Here I show a pattern of modern market bubbles. First one is people follow the crowd and then price raise too fast. Value is not real. Here you can see some examples of modern speculative bubbles. First one is dot-com bubbles, occurs in 2000s. And then housing bubbles in 2008, and then cryptocurrency 2017 and 2021. So here is the examples. Finally, it can be said that markets driven by hype, not having real value, can collapse quickly. So for today, thank you for watching.
Assalamu alaikum. Myself Afroja, ID 41. Today I am going to discuss about the geopolitical cost of Myanmar's crisis. We can see in the slide 1, background of Myanmar's crisis. Myanmar's crisis started in February 2021 after the military coup that removed the elected government. This ended democratic rule and triggered nationwide protest and violence. Political institutions weakened, armed conflicts increased, and economic stability collapsed. As a result, millions of people were affected, creating a serious political and humanitarian crisis. Now we will talk about the regional geopolitical impact. This crisis did not remain limited to Myanmar. Many people fled to neighboring countries like Thailand, India, and Bangladesh, creating refugee and border security challenges. At the regional level, ASEAN struggled to respond effectively due to its non-interference policy. This weakened regional cooperation and exposed gaps in crisis management. In slide 3, we will talk about global power and economic impact. Globally, Myanmar became part of a major power competition. China maintained engagement to protect strategic interests, while Western countries imposed sanctions. These actions increased Myanmar's dependence on a few allies. At the same time, foreign investment declined, tourism collapsed, and international business withdrew due to political risk. In conclusion, we can say that Myanmar crisis has caused serious geopolitical cost, including regional instability, economic isolation, and reduced international influence. Without a political solution, the crisis will continue to affect Southeast Asia's stability. That's all.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Anwara Begum Shukti and my ID number is 42. Today, I will briefly discuss the collapse of Thomas Cook Group, one of the world's largest international tourism companies. Thomas Cook was founded in 1841 and for many years it was a major global tour operator serving around 19 million customers every year. However, despite its strong brand name, the company collapsed in 2019 due to serious financial problems. The most critical issue was its huge debt, which reached about $1.9 billion. At the same time, Thomas Cook faced rising operational costs and failed to adapt effectively to digital booking platforms and changing customer behavior. In addition, investor confidence weakened and the company could not secure sufficient financial support. These combined factors led to its sudden collapse. The impact of the collapse was severe and immediate. Around 21,000 employees worldwide lost their jobs, and approximately 6 lakh tourists was stranded, making it one of the largest peacetime repatriation in UK history. Many suppliers and business partners were also financially affected. From a strategic perspective, this case highlights three key implications for international tourism business. First, financial sustainability is essential for long-term survival. Second, continuous digital transformation is necessary to stay competitive. And finally, strong risk management is crucial to handle market uncertainties. Overall, the collapse of Thomas Cook served as an important warning for global tourism organizations. That's all my part.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Myself MD Johiruddin Roni, ID 49. Today I am going to talk about the Venezuelan economic crisis and hyperinflation. We all know that Venezuelan economic crisis started from 2013. Venezuela faced a serious economic crisis during the last decade. The country depends heavily on oil exports, and when global oil prices fell, government income reduced sharply. Along with this, poor economic management, corruption, and high government spending made the situation worsen. The next slide, hyperinflation understanding. One of the most serious problems of this crisis was hyperinflation. Hyperinflation means a very rapid and uncontrollable increase in prices. In Venezuela, prices increased daily and the national currency, the bolivar, lost its value. The government printed excessive amounts of money which caused inflation to reach extremely high levels. The next slide is about cause of the crisis. There are several causes of the crisis, such as oil dependence, price drop of the currency, power management, and heavy corruption. The next slide is about Effect of crisis on people. The crisis had a severe impact on people's daily lives. There were shortages of food and medicine, and people needed bags of cash to buy basic items. Poverty and unemployment increased rapidly, and many citizens were forced to leave the country in search of a better life. The next slide is about impact on international business. The crisis also affected business and international trade. Many local business shut down, foreign investors lost confidence, and Venezuela's global trade declined significantly. In conclusion, the Venezuelan economic crisis and hyperinflation deeply damaged the country's economy and society. It shows the importance of proper economic management and political stability. Thank you for your attention.
Assalamualaikum. I am Turanumibtesam, ID 2. Today I am going to talk about the rise of artificial intelligence in international business operations. Artificial intelligence or AI refers to machines that can perform tasks like learning, decision making, and problem solving. In the next slide, we can see that due to globalization, international business now operate in different countries, cultures, and markets, which makes business operations more complex. To manage these challenges, multinational companies are increasingly using AI to improve efficiency and remain competitive in the global market. In the next slide, we can see that artificial intelligence plays several important roles in international business operations. First, AI improves operational efficiency by automating routine tasks and saving time. Second, it helps reduce business cost and minimize human errors. Third, AI powered chatbots and virtual assistants enhance customer service by providing 24-hour support across different countries. AI also supports better decision making by analyzing large amounts of data. In the tourism and hospitality industry, AI is used in online booking systems, demand forecasting, and personalized guest service. Therefore, AI has become an essential tool for modern international business. Thank you for listening.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Khandaka Sabir Hossain Obi. My ID is 30. Now I will present about the dark truth behind petrodollar system. The petrodollar system, basically the petrodollar system started in 1970s after the collapse of Bretton Woods system. After that time, the States made an agreement with oil producing countries. According the agreement, the oil will be traded globally in US dollars because oil is very important in for every country. This system created a constant demand for US dollar, and the US dollar became more powerful, and the US economy started grow more and more. So that's what was about the petrodollar system. Now talk about the hidden truth beside that. The system gave the United States economic and political power over the countries. Many nation depends heavily on US dollars. So US can influence global trade and finance, and this create economic control over non-dollar countries, especially developing nations. This agreement has an impact in international business. These impacts could be a high dependency on US dollar. The second will be business face currency and exchange rate risks. When dollar becomes strong, will become more expensive for other countries. And the third one will be US monetary policy affects global market. Outside the United States market, United States can control also them for this agreement. Finally, this system increase economic inequality. between nations. Because this problem, many countries are now showing interest in alternative currency for oil trade. Um, in conclusion, the petrodollar system helped the global trade, but also created dependency and inequality. So this agreement has some hidden truth also. So that's all from me. Thank you.